conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this regular meeting of the Vader City Council. It is 6:03 p.m. on Wednesday, May 6, 2026. Roll call.
Jason Daly.
Here.
Nicole Hinson.
Here.
John Hurt.
Here.
Sherry McKernan Kendall. Here. Mike Parsons.
Mike Parsons, are you still here? All right, well, is there a maybe?
Is he, can you see him? Maybe he just can't unmute right now.
Yeah, he's online. He's muting himself, so.
Okay.
All right, well, maybe he'll join us in a moment.
And Mayor Shai.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mayor's report. RMSA training. So there's a training for council members and staff that's required, or the deductible will need to be paid if there's a claim. Kristen, would you like to explain that a little bit more so that everyone knows how important it is to do our trainings?
Yeah, so there's a new thing with RMSA. They used to not have the deductibles, and now it's if we don't do our trainings in each of the sections, then there can be up to, I believe it was $1,500 to $3,000 that we would have to pay out in deductibles. So it just makes more sense for us to take the training so that if there was to be a claim, we wouldn't have to pay that before they stepped in.
So you probably will or will be getting recommended training links from the staff. And so I'd encourage you all to take that training.
Yeah, so we should look for something from you. Is like the email's gonna come from you or it's gonna come from them?
It comes from AWC. I can.
Okay, yeah, I get those. Okay.
Yeah.
And it will tell us what's required, so we'll be able to follow this. Okay, perfect.
CIB street grants. So the contract with Granite Construction is being drafted right now, so we can get those number of streets worked on this summer. McMurphy Park Cultural Resources Survey. We're still waiting on RCO's reply to our updated report, and this will enable the large-scale bathroom project down there at the park once they're approved. McMurphy Park, again, the phase 2 RCO grant application was submitted. So there's a long process before we could acquire more grant funds for that park. So we're just starting that now. Outfall diffuser and lift station project. We're working with USDA for possible grant funding. So as you know, we've got a combination of grant and loan from the Department of Ecology, and we're trying to not have any loan. And so we are looking for alternative sources to take care of the loan portion so that we don't have a loan. Annexation, the public hearings between the city and the Board of County Commissioners will likely take place the week of June 2nd. So we'll be in contact with you all if we need to have a special meeting just for a public hearing on that. The reason why we would ask for a special meeting would be timelines. So we're trying to get this done in the early part of June instead of the later part of June. So, water receivership. So 2 weeks ago, we gave a presentation to the Board of County Commissioners, and it was well received. And they've decided to continue with the proceeding forward with the transfer to the city of Vader. And so we're working with the Department of Health on their portion of the approval. Levy Q&A with Lewis County Assessor. I have on here that it's tentatively for our June 3rd council meeting, but it is absolutely for our June 3rd council meeting. So Ross Nielsen, the county assessor, will be here to answer all of your questions regarding the levy process. So do your research and come prepared. Fire districts 20 and 15, that would be the Riderwood Vader Fire District and the Winlock Fire District. I was it was discussed with me that they're looking at doing a merger. So the Vader Riderwood District would merge with Winlock District. They already share admins, they already share fire chiefs. And so the idea would be to, it's a matter of cost savings. And so there's a signature campaign right now that folks are working on to get enough signatures so that they could do that through an initiative instead of necessarily a vote. So anyway, there'll be more on that as details arise. And May Day last week, it was a great event. Thank you to all the volunteers for making it happen. It was sunny, which was amazing. I know that wasn't necessarily planned, but it was great to finally have some sun on a May Day. It's an event that deserves to have good weather. So thank you. It was planned?
It was.
We ordered that.
Well, if I said it was planned, then usually most years we fail at that plan because it's usually cloudy. So thank you, everybody. Council reports. Any council member reports tonight? Mike Parsons, just checking in to see if your audio is working yet.
Yes, it is.
All right, excellent. Agenda approval.
Make a motion that we approve the city council meeting agenda for May 6, 2026.
We have a motion by Mr. Hurd to approve the agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Minutes approval.
I make a motion that we approve the city minutes, or city council meeting minutes for April 15th, 2026.
We have a motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Voucher approval.
I make a motion that we approve the beginning of May 2026 for $51,170.39.
A motion to approve the vouchers. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the vouchers say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Special reports. Lewis County Sheriff's Report from Deputy Rubin.
Morning.
Good evening.
Hello. Law enforcement activity for the month of April. 235 citizen contacts, 5 on-shift calls, 48 traffic stops, 6 infractions, 1 misdemeanor criminal citation, for a total of 5 on-shift calls. Off-shift calls were 17, total calls for 22. Any questions I may be able to answer?
It's a busy month compared to some of the other ones.
But it was a great May Day festival.
Thanks for being there.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Urban. All right. I don't see Mr. Cheeseman here. Mr. Merrill, would you like to
Yes,
come talk to the council?
absolutely.
Thank you.
Would I stand here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, council members and mayor, thank you so much for having me. My name is Mitchell Merrill, and I'm running for Lewis County Auditor. I just filed this Monday. I'm a local boy. I grew up in Winlock, Washington here, and privileged to be able to live here. I'm a 3rd generation Winlock resident, and or Lewis County native, I should say. And with that, I went to Centralia College, got my associate's and bachelor's degree there, and also obtained employment here in Lewis County at a CPA firm, and subsequently obtained my certified public accounting license. And I've only ever worked here in Lewis County, so I worked at Mountain View CPAs for nearly 8 years. And then I left employment there to be able to get my MBA. And after that, I started my own CPA firm, Merrill CPA. So as such, the opportunity arose to be able to serve in the auditor's office as our current auditor Larry Grove has announced his retirement, and I was asked if I would consider the position. And so I did, and just really privileged to be able to be serving the people, or to look forward to serving the people in this capacity if so elected. So that's a little bit about me and why I'm running. Well, specifically, I'd give you two reasons. First would be public service. As you know, as public servants, there's just something really special about being able to be a part of something bigger than yourself and give back to the local community. So that's really, and as an accountant, I kind of think in percentages. So I'd say 95% would be public service and 5% would be growth and development, which I think you'll receive growth and development from your public service. And I think those two really tie together. So just really looking to give back to this community. I've never held public office before. Like I say, I'm a local boy and a businessman, but would look to serve the people in this capacity. And so with that, our platform is to lead with honesty and integrity. And as a CPA, I've been able to do that and hold the public trust. Financial statements, a CPA serving as an auditor with a swipe of a pen can state whether or not financial statements are fairly presented and if they can be relied on by the general public. So in my capacity and experience, I've already been able to do that for this community. So transitioning that to just serve 86,000 clients, which is the number of citizens in this county, would just be an honor to serve. So, and with that, upholding the law, as you know, that's first and foremost for us to follow the Constitution, federal Constitution, Washington State Constitution, and then of course the local rules and regulations. And so of course, free and fair elections, I know that term may be used loosely, but I'm here to give you more definition on that. So a free election is free from material error. And us accountants, we're really big on if something is a material error, it needs to be fixed, right? Because it can make a difference in the reporting. And I'm just happy to state that I believe that our elections here in Lewis County, at least, have been free from material error. Yes, they use machines, but even when there's been a hand recount, usually the difference is a sub-zero or maybe plus or minus one at the most. So that's far from material. So I'd say that that's been very accurate. The other thing would be a free election, I said free, but then fair would mean that fair in the sense that we follow the law. And so as the auditor's office oversees several functions. So elections is one of the big ones. And then inside of, or under that, they also sell license plates and do land recording, marriage licensing, and things like that. But there's the second department, which is they are in charge of the accounting for the entire county. So they combine the financial statements to work directly with the state auditor's office, and just interact with each of the departments. The third department is the finance department. So over accounts payable and payroll. So they make sure everybody's happy to get paid. And then specifically, if there's maybe a bill or an invoice, possibly that would even come from the city, that would go to the county, that would go to the commissioners. Well, first it would come to the auditor's office to make sure that it appeared correct. Then it would go to the commissioners for approval as they hold the purse strings, and then that would trickle back into the auditor's office to have a signature. So you would see the auditor's name on the check. So those type of functions are what happens in the county auditor's office. And with that, I would say it's important to also to leverage resources because we're using public funds, right? We're using the funds that are from the great citizens of this county. So I'd be looking to make sure that we're seeking to leverage modern technology in the office to keep costs low as they have been, but just to continue using our resources to serve the people of this county. And the last thing I would say is why I believe I'm the best candidate for Lewis County Auditor, and would really appreciate your support, would be for the following reasons. My experience and credentials as a CPA and nearly 10 years in public accounting experience, I believe qualify me to step into the role day one to act as our current county auditor, if so elected. Number two would be because I have the best understanding of the auditor's office. There's 14 people in that office, and I've interviewed the current auditor, and then I've also interviewed the 3 chief deputies that are over the 3 various functions in the auditor's office. So spent time with them and asked them what was important to them, what are the day-to-day functions and things of that nature. And then the third thing I would say is the endorsements that I've received. So I've received endorsements from our current auditor, Larry Grove, who will be retiring this year. I've also received endorsements from the former auditor. If you might remember a man named Gary Zandel. He was the predecessor to Larry Grove. And then also received the endorsement from our current treasurer, County Treasurer Arnie Davis, and two current county commissioners, Sean Swope and Scott Brummer. So these are people that serve this county already, and these are people that the public trusts, and ultimately the public trusts them and they trust me, then I would humbly request for your vote as well. So with that, I have pamphlets here, and I did bring some signs with me. I'll stick around for the entirety of the meeting tonight, and if you have any questions, would love to be able to answer any questions that you might have, or also hear what's important to you for a Lewis County auditor. So thank you so much for your time and for the invitation to speak.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We love to have candidates come down. You know, I don't think all the years I've been involved, I don't think we've ever had any of the auditor candidates or auditors come down before. So it's just neat. We love it when folks come down to the south part of the county and introduce themselves and, you know, share. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Public comment. Any public comment tonight related to the agenda items? Later on, there'll be another public comment period for non-agenda items. Okay, city business. Item number 1, council to review code enforcement letter. Kristen, would you like to talk about this?
Yeah, so at our last meeting, we talked about if fines were to reach $50,000, having our attorney automatically just send a letter reminding them that they have a notice of violation and fines are accruing. And so what was in your guys' packet is a sample of that letter along with a spreadsheet she put together showing the fines for the resident. And so I'm just looking for your guys' guidance on if you agree with the letter that she wrote, and that should be the letter that's sent moving forward once code enforcement properties reach that $50,000 mark.
Any council input on that? Thoughts?
I read it. It seems fine.
I make a motion that we approve the code enforcement letter included in our packet.
The motion to approve the code enforcement letter. Do we have a second? Seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the code enforcement letter, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 2, council to discuss the Vader Municipal Codes 1 and 2.
So I'm going to jump in. I think I confused the group a little bit. I thought we were switching our focus from 1 and 2 to 3 and 19, or 9 and 13. I apologize. So I stopped reviewing 2, so I apologize for any confusion I created. So I'm not quite ready to move forward with 2, but I think in the next couple weeks we can. I don't know about anyone else.
I've read 2 and didn't have any concerns, but I'm just one of us. So I'm
Mr. Hurt?
good with reading.
The only thing that I've reviewed is 13, and I went through with it for 5 or 6 days, going through it and changing things that needed to be changed in it. Nicole has it on her spreadsheet there, but as busy as I've been lately on the road, like this morning at 1 o'clock in the morning, I haven't had a chance to go over 1 and 2, but 13, in my opinion, which Darren actually needs to get going.
Yeah.
I've got that part done.
So then I'll just follow what John said and say, I think we all as a council have buy-in that the spreadsheet process is working. So I'll just remind everyone so we can make sure we're on the same page that council will provide comments to me. I'll put them into a spreadsheet. Kristen and I will do a precursor review to make sure we get rid of anything that's unnecessary. We have a column to close comments, open comments, leave them marked for legal. Then we'll bring that entire package to council. And council will be able to review the status of those comments and maybe make recommendations to send to the lawyer. So, so far, it's our plan to have 9 and 13 reviewed by early next week. Kristen and I will go through the comments for 9 and 13, and hopefully we'll be able to make a recommendation for them to move forward to the lawyer on May 20th. That's where we are, I think. Anyone, does that sound?
Is everyone comfortable with that process?
Council members, yeah.
I was gonna bring that up in item number 4.
Oh, sorry.
Regarding, no, it's all right. It's, they all kind of fade into each other.
Yeah.
And to see if that's how the council wants to proceed. I know this was a huge project and it may not have been appropriate to do it in a council meeting format. And so if the council members are in agreement, you know, those that would like to give input can feed that input to the staff, and we can get a draft together that's appropriate, and then we'll have it to you for review, and then as long as there's no major changes, we'll just get it off to the attorney. So does that sound okay? Then we can stop kicking this thing down the road and just get her done.
Yeah, because the reason I tackled 13 is there's a lot in there about cars and towing and streets. And my family owned a towing company and we did abandon vehicles. I know what the laws are required for towing companies and cities and private properties to have cars towed off of them. So I made quite a few changes that needed to be in there. I noticed after I got to read the whole email from Kristen, instead of trying to read it going down the road, sorry, officers.
Scan you the ticket.
But I see that I need to go back a little bit because one of the things that was on there was weight limits for our roads. And I noticed that there's a lot of roads in the city of Vader that you can't be over 30,000 pounds and that are not properly signed. We're going to need to have a good discussion about those roads and figure out if we want them to have weight limits on them or not. And if there are weight limits, then we have to have some kind of signage on them.
And we'll make sure that's in the
Yeah,
spreadsheet.
and I saw your email just the other day about the signage for that and weight limits. And just 2 or 3 years ago, council went round and round on weight limits, and we had a policy, but I don't see it in the code. And so I need to see what happened to that and then share that with you.
Yeah, that would be kind of nice because there was a lot of roads on there that, you know, a portion of it here is and a portion of it over there is, and it's just, I don't know, and we're going to get into some other topic here later on about our roads, but yeah, I think we need to find out more about that, but the rest of it for the towing and stuff, I've made my recommendations. She has it on her spreadsheet now that can go to Darren and have him look at it. And like I said, my family owned a towing company for 30 years. So knowing the ins and out about the towing and stuff. And one part of the code that was in there was if we have a vehicle towed and it's at the towing company's lot, the owner can on demand ask for the personal items out of it. That's a no-no. Once that towing company is taking possession of that car, it's up to the towing company if they will allow that personal property out. And a lot of towing companies will not unless the bill is paid or the title is signed over to the car.
And we included these comments in the
Yeah,
spreadsheet. So we can
those are
talk
some
about
of the comments that was changed in there. And if you tag a car, if Ruben or somebody else tags a car, it was down there that said 24 hours, you have to give them 72 hours notice for an abandoned vehicle to be towed. The only time that you tow a car immediately is if it is a road hazard. Then Ruben or whoever's out here patrolling can have it towed immediately because it is a hazard. But if it's not a hazard, then you have to have 72 hours to give the people proper time to be able to remove it, you know, and take it to a repair facility or back to their own property.
And this is a good example of why we're looking at all these, because some of the art codes are, they're at least 30 years old. At least that's the number that's documented. And so a lot's changed. And so we need to look at all these things.
So I have a question about process. Are we attempting to send, 9 and 13, we're going to send to the lawyer as soon as possible because Darren needs those? No. Yeah, 9 and 13. I keep getting the note. Anyway, the ones Darren needs, we're going to send, because I keep getting the numbers confused, as soon as possible. For the others, are we sending them all to the lawyer at once? Or are we sending them in sections? Like 1 and 2 is going to go to the lawyer, and then whatever 2 we have next is going to go to the lawyer. Or are we going to send them all at once at the end of the?
Probably end up doing batches. That way she doesn't have to spend
Okay.
an entire month's worth of hours working on it. And we get hit with this immense bill all in 1 month.
Okay.
We'll probably start
Perfect.
it.
Sounds good.
All right. Any other discussion on this particular topic, codes 1 and 2? Okay, I'm moving on to item number 3. Council consider the creation of an Amazon account for purchases. Remember we had a little bit of a mishap a couple weeks ago with things accidentally getting ordered on someone's personal account. And so the idea is to create a city account. That way we don't have that mix up anymore. Obviously it was all fixed and in the books, but we just don't want to have that happen again. So is there a motion to approve creation of an Amazon account?
Can you remind us of the cost, Kristen? Approximately, it's about a $90 to $100 and something, right? Okay.
If you guys want the Prime membership, we can get just an Amazon account for the city that doesn't, we don't pay the Prime membership on, or you guys can choose to pay for the Prime membership.
What would you recommend based on how much shipping we do?
I've ordered a lot from Amazon. It's really up to what you guys think. And if you want to spend the money on the Prime, which would be the faster shipping, or we could just start with not spending any money and creating an account and then address the Prime portion of it at a later time.
The reason I asked is because, I don't want us spending a small fortune on shipping because we didn't want to pay $90 or $110 for an Amazon Prime account. So I feel like I would rather the staff be able to get the things they need efficiently and not go, oh shoot, should I order this? Shipping's $20 or I just don't want us to have that kind of chaos in the
Probably
budget.
pay for itself pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it
Shipping
would.
out here.
I think shipping might.
Go ahead.
Usually if you order a certain amount, you don't have to pay for shipping anyway, even if you don't have an account. And so I think usually it's $35 or something, I think is the minimum.
Yeah, so buy more stock.
I don't think-
Message.
I don't think we usually order less than $35 worth of stuff.
Okay, that's fine. I'll make a motion that we create an Amazon account.
My question is who's going to have the authority to use it? Is it everybody in the office and the mayor, or is it just going to be you?
Right now, it's just me that orders, so that would stay the same.
Okay, this is the only question I had. Because
No, they would go through the treasurer when they need to order something.
okay.
So we had a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Are we getting
Any other discussion on this creation of an Amazon account topic?
I think when you use your Amazon account, I think it shows you your savings. I think it'll show you your savings that you save if you have Prime, or it'll show you what you would have saved if you had Prime.
so we can look at it next year if we want to add Prime next year.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the creation of an Amazon account for city purchases, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, item number 4, council discuss possible dates, times for workshop on a code update. So it sounds like this particular line item isn't necessary. It sounds like we've got a direction for it without a workshop. Is that the correct assumption?
in my opinion.
Yes,
Yes?
agreed.
I heard yes. Yes. Anyone, Jason, Mike online? Are we all in agreement?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, then this is not needed and we will continue on with the code updates as we discussed. That's the end of city business. Public comment, on anything? Anyone else?
I gotta go too.
Please come on up.
All right. I wanted to talk to you guys about this lumber mill that's proposed to coming in. I work at a pulp mill and it's very noisy. And I wanted to know if we're gonna have any ordinance on noise pollution. I guess I'm excited about the jobs. I'm excited about the taxes. But as far as the lumber and the log trucks, the flatbeds, the chip wagons that are gonna come through, I'm worried about our roads. I'm worried about the speed of the log trucks. I'm a truck driver, so I know how fast I drive, sorry.
Everyone keeps apologizing.
Everyone needs a ticket.
But I'm worried about what it's going to do to our quiet town. And I just want to make sure that we're not trying to push this thing through just because of the jobs and the tax money. I want to make sure that we're really sitting down and talking about it. I have talked with a few city council members about this topic because I was under the assumption that we're still in the preliminary stages, and I started hearing that we're already beginning talking about getting this going, and I'm just want to make sure that we're proper stages as far as what everybody thinks about this. Another suggestion that I have is, I don't know how many of you guys have been around a lumber yard or a pulp mill, which they're pretty similar. I could probably get some tours that you guys could come down to our pulp mill and hear the noise. We have a mill in Malala, and we're not allowed to flip the switch to turn the chippers on until 6 o'clock in the morning. Just because of the ordinance of noise pollution. And I think we have to have them shut down by 7 or 8 in the evening, just because of noise pollution. And it would be the same, basically, I don't know if any of you know where Malala is or have been through Malala, but our mill sits practically in the middle of town or just barely off to the side of it. It's in the city, within the city's corridor area and stuff like that. So just want to make sure that we're not trying to push this thing through as far as that. And then the speed signs, I think that would be one thing, making sure the log trucks and the chip wagons all abide. I know I've talked to you guys about having signs, radar signs and stuff, and I know we haven't done anything, but I know there's lots of more important things, it seems like sometimes, but that would be something that I would like to focus on. I'm not sure if our roads can handle overweight limits. I mean, we haul lots of chips, and I will tell you, I hear some scary numbers that people are loading up chips, and during the winter time, some drivers are hauling 110,000 pounds, and the weight limits are for Washington is 104. So, and between here and Longview, where the chips have to go, there's no scales if you take West Side Highway. So 110,000 pounds, 2 or 3 times a day, it's going to do a lot of damage to our roads. And I'll guarantee that there's going to be some drivers, Walsh, M&M, Jippo companies that are going to haul those chips, and they get paid by the tonnage. So the more they haul, the more the drivers make. So something to consider about that type of stuff.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Joslin. Yeah, so I think you echo the same concerns that we've heard from other folks.
Okay.
I mean, so, we've talked with the owner of that business, and they want to be good community partners, and noise, they know is a big concern. And so we've already had some discussions about that around mitigation techniques for noise, and encapsulating the equipment fully inside the building. It's already insulated, and so things like that. And so they do not want to be a nuisance for the city, and they want to work with the city. And so those are all good signs. At this point, they don't need to necessarily apply for any permit with the city to have their business there.
Right.
But if they do any expansions, of course, they need to go through the city for any kind of expansion. So again, we're working with them on that. And as soon as we know more, we'll let you know more.
Okay, sounds fair.
And all the traffic will be on the state highway. And so it'll be the state's job to repair our roads, not the city's job. So
What about if they go down West Side Highway?
not our road.
Is there gonna be regulations that making them go down that or not go down that road?
That has not been discussed. And I don't know if we have the authority to direct where their traffic would go anyway.
Truck routes, designated truck routes?
West Side Highway is a designated truck route.
Okay.
It's a state highway.
Well, I know that, and then state route, so, okay, just want to make sure.
We're working on it, yep.
All right, thank you.
Still more questions than answers.
All right.
Are we actually moving forward with this?
Well, it's their property. I mean, there's the city, they don't need to come and ask us. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Joslin.
Good night.
Good night.
Any other public comment regarding any issues? Mr. Fraze.
Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Gabriel Fraze from Onalaska. I'm sorry I didn't tell you ahead of time. I didn't realize you need to be on the agenda, but I just wanted to say that I am the newest candidate for Lewis County Sheriff.
Oh.
I have been a resident of Lewis County my entire life, with the exception of 4 years in the military. After the military, I came back here and applied and was fortunate enough to be selected by Sheriff McCroskey as part of the great team that is the Lewis County Sheriff's Office, and I've been here for 26 years. During that time period, I've been a patrol deputy, I've been a detective, I've been a patrol sergeant, detective sergeant, administrative sergeant, and now special services chief. In addition to that, I've served in a number of different specialty roles, starting with field training officer, dual purpose canine handler. I've been a search and was and still am a search and rescue coordinator, among other things. So I truly believe I bring a broad range of experience to this position. My current position and the position of sheriff, I believe I'm actually the most qualified. I just wanted to pass that on, and if anybody has any questions later, please feel free to ask me, and please forgive my quivering voice. Thank you.
I have a quick question for you, Officer Fraze.
Yes,
if you were to become sheriff, would your deputies start using squirt guns?
You haven't seen the video on that one.
Or
Ruben's the victim on that one. Yes, that's the lovely eviction at 511 Gerard Street when a lovely gentleman went after Ruben with the garden hose.
Oh, you were the lucky.
He was yes, they put my name was plastered everywhere, and he was a deputy. That's the furthest back.
Did he deserve it?
I don't know. I mean, I said, don't do that, and he did it anyway. So, thank you, Mr. Parsons.
You're more than welcome. And I'm excited that you just told me that you were running, because that makes my choice easy.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Fraze. Well, that's makes the sheriff race even more interesting. So thank you. Any other public comment tonight? Mr. Notch.
The Veterans Day Parade in Toledo will be on Veterans Day, which is a Wednesday this year, and it is America 250. Now, I'm going to say we're getting 250 floats, but maybe.
What time?
Undetermined yet. We got to figure out the route. and who's participating, how many people we can get there so we can do the ceremony at 11.
11/11, yeah.
So we gotta figure out how many floats we think we'll have to time that. So,
There's a great, event in Toledo at Camp Olson Park behind the elementary school. There's a Veterans Memorial Wall, and it's an amazing site. And every year, there's a great presentation there, and they usually have the tribe there as well, and various speakers and maybe a musical performance. And so it's a really great event. And so it's great to hear that there's going to be a parade before that. So I always recommend folks going to that on Veterans Day. Mr. Notch.
In regards to the Chamber of Commerce, we are working on an AI conference, kind of like they did at the college. This one will be a lot different, I think, judging by the conversations we've had from participants, or we think will participate so far. So I would just say a lot of people would be amazed at what they're going to see. But we don't have that nailed down yet. The odds, first, we're shooting for September after school started, but the speed of AI changing, we may try and push that out to this month or early next month. So watch for your newsletter.
Great, thank you. Always love the updates from the Chamber of Commerce. Yep. Any other public comment? No? Okay. Elected official comments.
I have something that's going to take a couple minutes, so I'd like to go last.
All right, any other elected official comments before we let Ms. Jansen have the floor?
On Saturday, while we were lined up for the floats, I was parked right next to the county commissioner, and him and I had a great long conversation about the city of Vader. And he told me point blank, the city deserves the water back. They will get the water back. And there's just one little hitch they have to go through. But he says the way that the mayor presented everything and the way that the city is preparing for the water back, there is no reason that the city should not get the water back.
Appreciate that. Any other elected official comments tonight? Mr. Parsons, I thought I saw you on second. Yes.
Yes, so I didn't know if we should put it on the agenda or what, but we need to discuss the 4th of July celebration issues that are going on. And I am kind of dumbfounded this last couple of weeks because I didn't realize that the city was doing so much in it. Like I said at the very beginning of all the 4th of July stuff, I want a promoter to do it and us help the promoter and move on, not have the city spend time on this, because if a promoter doesn't take it over, I'm not wanting the city to spend any money on it in the next couple of years. It should support itself. And so I don't know if you guys have talked more about this and I'm just in the dark, but it's something that we need to address right away because the 4th of July is coming up. I'm done.
Okay.
I agree with Mike, and I don't exactly know what the solution is. And I don't fully feel like council knows everything that's happening with 4th of July and what's coming. So I don't know if maybe that's a presentation May 20th but I agree with Mike.
That could be arranged. I don't think that council's heard from the committee in a while, so it could be time for that. Okay. Any other members of the council having any topics before we let Nicole make her presentation? Let's find out what's under that towel. Okay, I think I made you a presenter.
I'm just gonna leave it in that mode so you can kind of see what's coming. So several years ago, I started a nonprofit to restore a 1927 Grand Amusement Carousel. When I moved here, I had to step down from the board and pass the torch to a new board. Yesterday, I was informed that the organization is closing and that they need a new home for the project. So I'm going to research what it would take to take over this project at this point. It's obviously quite a significant effort. But in the meantime, I'd like to talk to council briefly so council knows that this is an opportunity that might be available to our town. So it's just going to take me 2 minutes, so bear with me, folks. So as I mentioned, it's from 1927. It's over 30 feet high and 60 feet across. It originally held 48 animals. It's believed to be the last off the Denzel line out of Pennsylvania. It was originally a permanent structure in an amusement park in West Virginia. It was auctioned in the 1970s for a highway project. Initially, it was auctioned all together, and then the menagerie and horses were sold separately. Some of them in the 80s were auctioned for as much as $80,000, which was a lot of money then. So then the carousel spent about 20 years in a container on a pistachio farm in California before it found its way to me. And right now it's in Snoqualmie, Washington.
It made its way to you?
Well, it landed in my lap.
Possession of this thing?
Well, I mean, a nonprofit does, but you know, my life, how about it crossed paths with my life at that point after it left the pistachio farm? It's too long of a story, Joe. I tried to save some time there. Come on.
Well, I have some big stuff in my garage, but you.
One of the horses was restored by and is currently housed and on display at the Chicago Art Museum. I was there spring last year, so I took these pictures. Other than the horses, we have all of the pieces, the rounding boards, the scenic panels, the mirrors panels, flourishes, including the metal structures. It's believed to be one of the most intact carousels in the country. Most historic restorations of its kind recreate all these pieces, are missing many of them. I have personally counted them. I know that they all are in existence. These are volunteers working on ceiling panels, flooring, sweeps, menagerie design. It's a very cool community project that brings people together of all different ages. Oops, sorry about that. That's the original floor. All the pieces were handmade, so it only goes together one way. And I really wish that I had some of the carnies when we were trying to do this, because this is the heaviest puzzle you will ever put together. We had to rearrange it multiple times, but now it's been marked. We had a mechanism team that was building a 3D model so we could understand how it would work, how it would spin, because all of it hangs off of a single center pole like this. The last piece that's kind of interesting is that we had an art director who was designing custom animals so sponsors could do something like a family heirloom piece. So my family was going to sponsor an animal that was my childhood horse, which was a black and white paint. My mom's dog was sitting at its feet, and all of you met Little Maverick sitting on the back of the horse. And then all the trappings were designed from family members we've lost. So fabric of my grandmother's or things that came, and the trappings or the decorations. So it's a cool opportunity to have heirloom pieces. So I was shocked yesterday to learn that they were closing their doors. I just wanted to share it with you. I'm obviously still going to do some research. I brought a couple of pieces in case people want to see what it looks like. So when you ask me if they actually have the pieces, these are some of the individual pieces and what they look like and need to be restored. So it's a very cool project. It's a very cool opportunity. There are only a handful of carousel restorers in our area. So at this point, considering how many of them I've interviewed, you know, interestingly enough, I'm probably one of the most experienced carousel restorers in the region. So, but we have access to the people who are more experienced than me, carvers, painters. I know a lot of them. So we also were teaching volunteers to hand carve with pieces just like this. So I literally have hand carved this out of a square myself, learning the process. So I just wanted everyone to know that this is an opportunity. Kind of asked council if, you know, we'd even be interested in entertaining something this large. It's obviously not a small thing, but it might make sense in one of our parks, or these are destination type pieces that people travel to see. So, you know, maybe or maybe not, it may or may not make money. It could be part of a larger event venue. People get married at them. So I just wanted to share with everyone that it's out there. I'll do some research and keep us updated.
Well, this is one of those big ideas you were talking about.
And what's funny is we had the conversation about big ideas and then I got this phone call. So anyway, that's all I have.
That's neat. All right, well.
Your daughter had something else to paint.
Uh-huh. All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think you got everyone's wheels spinning, thinking about the potential for being able to host something like this. So it's exciting. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any questions from anybody? All right, I'm sure they'll come. All right. Well, on that, this meeting is adjourned at 6:53 p.m. Thank you, everybody.